Hi everyone, Lisa here. I just wanted to say hello and ask how you all are. Just going out for a walk today. I always find that going out for a walk really helps me and makes me feel fresher and clears my mind and my heart. So this week I've been thinking about this particular week in the UK. This week is a mental health awareness week. And there have been a lot of activities and a lot of talk about mental health and being aware of mental health, and also what you can do to help improve or better your mental health. I think mental health is as important as physical health. And for me personally, quite a few years ago, well, not that long ago actually, it was a few years ago, I went through a particular very, very difficult situation for quite a few years. And unfortunately, when I came out of that situation, I ended up with depression. Actually, I'd had it for quite a while, but didn't realise I had it. I had no idea what it was, didn't know that I was ill. I just knew that I wasn't dealing with things very well. When I was diagnosed, I was absolutely devastated because I already felt like a failure. That's one of the things that goes along with depression often. You feel like a complete failure. Nothing seems to be working. Your thoughts are very negative. There's a huge amount of anxiety. There's a lot of physical symptoms that go along with that as well. Thank God I am now well and I don't have depression and haven't had depression for a few years. But I am also very aware that I also need to make sure that I look after my mind and my mental health. I'm much more acutely aware of that now than I used to be. And recognise the stress and the trigger points. And as I was thinking about Mental Health Week this week, I think there's a huge need for people to recognise that mental health is as important as physical health, and it can also have physical issues as well associated with it. When I had depression, I had a lot of other physical issues associated with it, like migraines and being sick constantly, and very severe fatigue like I've never known it before, dizziness. I mean, there's a whole load of other symptoms that went with it. I was quite ill for a while. So this week, when I was thinking about Mental Health Week, and anxiety was something that I really suffered with quite a lot, and actually something that I've had to deal with more recently as well, and I think that's something that a lot of people are dealing with and have had to deal with. Unfortunately, some of that anxiety is now related to hormonal changes, which is not great, but at least I know what it is now, and I can recognise it and deal with it in a different way. I think for me personally, it's acknowledging it. That's not accepting it. That's not taking it on board. I've never taken it on board and said, well, that's mine. That's my depression. I own it. That's my anxiety. I own it. It belongs to me. I've never been like that. I've never accepted it. Even when I was really quite ill, I was determined I was not going to live like that for the rest of my life. And thank God he helped me through that. One of the verses that came to mind when I was thinking about this is Proverbs 12 verse 25, that says, anxiety in the heart of a man weighs him down, but a good or an encouraging word cheers him up. And I think that one little encouraging word sometimes, one little text, message, a phone call, a little card, whatever way that you contact someone, just sometimes that little word of encouragement just makes a huge difference in people's lives. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I just thought I'd mention it again because I think we need to remember that it's sometimes just those small things. It's the small little things that make such a massive difference in people's lives. And I know sometimes when people give me a word of encouragement or just contact me and just to see how I am or how things are going, I just find that really lifts me, and I think that's what that verse in Proverbs is talking about. So it's not to ignore anxiety, it's not to ignore depression, it's not to say it's not there, but I've never ever owned it for myself because I've always believed that that's something that is not something that God wants me to experience. And there are plenty of Bible verses in the Bible that talk about do not fear, do not fear, do not fear. And another verse that I think is quite relevant is from 1 Peter 5 verse 7, and it says, casting all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. So I thought I'd just leave you with that thought, that whenever you feel maybe a bit of fear or anxiety, then God is there to just listen, to just take that on board, and he's not afraid of how you're feeling. He knows how you're feeling anyway. So yeah, I just encourage you to cast all that care on God, and he will help you through that, and he will take that care away if you want to give it to him. Just thought I'd leave that thought with you today. Bye.